Hey guys, and welcome to another fragrance review. Thank you so much for watching, and this time we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance from the house of Nasomatto. This is the most recent release from the house. It's also the last release from this house, and it goes by the name of Blamage. So this fragrance was released just this year in 2014, and the perfumer for this fragrance is Alessandro Gaultieri, who has also done every other fragrance from this house: Duro, Black Afghano, Hindu Grass, Nuda, Narcotic Venus, you name it. So I think now they're up to like 9 or 10 different fragrances, and this is the last one. So he has ventured on to a new endeavor, and he has created his a new house by the name of Orto Parisi, in which, if I'm not mistaken, every fragrance contains an animal note or two. So that's a very weird, different concept. I'm very excited to try out those fragrances. But let's talk about this one for a bit, and I would like to start off by tackling the name, Blamage. So Blamage is actually a German name, and it translates to disgrace, shame, complete failure, and I think that that's kind of what he was going for with this fragrance. Of course, naturally, as a perfumer, you want to create a fragrance that's going to be well received, something that is going to be great, people are going to love. But I do think that he ventured out to create this fragrance almost by accident. And I think that kind of follows the same vein as Chanel's No. 5, which was the result of a fragrance that was made by accident, with the aldehydes being overdosed and whatnot, where the initial product ended up not being the same as what it was expected to turn out. So with this fragrance, especially if you've watched the movie, and there is an independent film that accompanies this fragrance, which is supposed to be a synesthetic connection between the visual and the olfactory. In that movie, he mentions that he's searching all over the world for different ingredients, and this fragrance is supposed to come out almost to be a great fragrance, but by accident, a masterpiece which happened as a result of an accident. It's a 53-minute video or short film. It came out last year in 2013, and I believe it's found on the nosefilm.com. So make sure to check that out. And the back of this box also gives you a little bit of a description on what this fragrance is supposed to be about. We'll take a look at that when we tackle the presentation. Next up, we have the presentation. Stay tuned. Blamage by Nasomatto is available in one size, that's the 30 milliliter bottle, and this fragrance is only available in Extrait de Parfum concentration. So first up, let's take a look at the box. It's your pretty standard Nasomatto box. Over here at the top, you have the name of the fragrance in this quirky, witty font. Looks like it was handwritten. Nasomatto down here at the bottom. Nothing going on at this side. The ingredients on the other side. And then on the very back, it tells you a little bit about the Nasomatto project. So it reads, Blamage. This bottle of perfume is part of the Project Nasomatto. The fragrance is an unwise and unfortunate creation caused by bad judgment and care. You open this up, and it exposes the inside of the box, which shows you a silhouette of the bottle carved into it. And then it also comes with a travel cap with Nasomatto engraved at the top. So I think that's a pretty cool addition. As far as the bottle goes, I think that this is actually a step up from the other Nasomatto bottles. The glass is painted this time, and I do think it's glass. I compared the weight to that of the other bottles that I have in my collection. And pretty cool little design here on the bottle. It looks like wood, piece of wood, and so does the cap. The cap is a little weird. It has an uneven, odd texture to it, and then at the top here, it also looks like a tree that was chopped in half. It has this nice little pattern to it, and almost like a lacquered finish. You can see the luster, you can see how shiny it is. Cap comes off, clicks into place very nicely. The atomizer gives you a great distribution. I wouldn't expect anything less from Nasomatto, and again, it's Extrait de Parfum, so you don't want to go crazy with the sprays. And that has pretty much been the presentation for Blamage by Nasomatto. In the opening of this fragrance, what you get is a very noticeably woody / balsamic quality to the fragrance. I'm going to take a guess and say that there is sandalwood in this fragrance, not only because it does smell a little bit sweet, but also in the movie Searching for Blamage, you do see Gaultieri visiting sandalwood shops in New Delhi. So I think that kind of gives it away, the fact that it may contain sandalwood. But I don't think that it's exclusive to the note of sandalwood. There may very well be agarwood in this fragrance, which you know, gives it a little bit of depth, a little bit of character in the background. Also because it does have some of that traditional Nasomatto DNA going on in the background. And I know that oud is or agarwood is a note that's used in other Nasomatto compositions, namely Black Afghano and Duro. So it does have a woody balsamic quality. I think that that serves as a redeeming factor, and I'll tell you why I think it's a redeeming factor in this fragrance. But to my nose, I also pick up on something that I think is nargamotha or cypriol oil, and that's an ingredient that's found in a lot of other niche fragrances, namely Amouage's Opus 7, Gal by Xerjoff, and it has a smoky slash herbal quality to it. Almost spicy too, and I say those serve as redeeming factors for this fragrance because this, to my nose, is a fruity floral. That's what I think the aromatic classification of this fragrance is. And fruity florals are usually women's fragrances. And I know a fellow YouTube fragrance reviewer by the name of Rene Zayas stated in his review that this does smell like peach to him. And I was thinking of peach rings when I was smelling this fragrance, and I would have to agree with him. And peach is a note that's conventionally found in many women's fragrances, especially when it's partnered up with floral fragrances. That's like, or floral notes rather, that's overkill. The only thing that's missing are the aldehydes. So with this fragrance, it does smell like it's veering a little bit more in the direction of being a women's fragrance, which is why I would be a little bit more selective when making purchases from the Nasomatto house. This is one to definitely sample before you buy. This is not a safe or an easy blind buy. But I do think that, you know, the woody notes and the spiciness of the nargamotha, and even a little bit of smokiness in the background too, some resins, that balsamic character, I think that that serves as a redeeming factor, which is, I think, the one thing that really allows this fragrance to be pulled off by men. As far as the florals go, I don't think that it has any, you know, florals in this fragrance that are suited for men. Even the floral that's used in this fragrance, it does smell a little feminine, you know. If it used something like jasmine perhaps, or orange blossom, which I think could be pulled off by a guy quite easily, I think it would have changed the versatility of this fragrance by a bit. But I do think for the most part it is a fruity floral that would work better on a woman. So in terms of compliments or complaints, I think that this fragrance is a pleasant fragrance and it will get you a compliment, but I'm only saying that if there's a woman wearing this, you know, there needs to be a very particular kind of guy who I think could pull this fragrance off, and I don't, you know, I wouldn't feel too comfortable wearing this in public, even though it is a pleasant fragrance. So guys, last up we have the rating. Thanks for watching. First up, we have uniqueness and overall smell. And like I said, this fragrance is not entirely unique, but it does things very differently from the fruity florals that I'm accustomed to smelling on a lot of women. It's different, it's smoky, it's woody, it has a sweet depth to it, and for that reason it does stand out. Longevity on this fragrance is also excellent. This fragrance lasts for a very, very long time, 12 plus hours. I don't think it's quite the powerhouse that Black Afghano and Duro is, but it does last for a long time, and projection is just average. It's not excellent. It seems to radiate within an arm's length, I want to say, for 2 to 3 hours. After that point it starts to sit closer to the skin, but it's just average projection. Versatility is also very good on this fragrance. This is, I think, a little bit more in the direction of being a women's fragrance, but it is marketed as unisex. I think that this would make a good night out fragrance for a woman. I probably wouldn't wear this casually because of the accessibility, the exclusivity, the wearability, but I think this is a fragrance that would work really well in the hotter climates. I think that, you know, the fruity aspects and the floral components kind of give a summery or a springy feel to this fragrance, but I think in terms of the performance, it might actually do well in the fall as well. So the versatility on this fragrance is actually very good. I just don't see a kid wearing this or a teenager. You know, I see this for a more mature crowd. And last up, we have the presentation. I think this is actually a step up from the other Nasomatto bottles. The attention put into the cap, the lacquer-like finish, the bottle, even the box, the font, and everything. I do think it's a step up. I think the presentation is excellent. I love the presentation. Overall, I'm going to give this fragrance an 8 out of 10. I'm giving this fragrance an 8 out of 10 with the knowledge that this isn't going to work for everyone. So I certainly do not recommend you blind buy this fragrance, but please make sure you at least, give it a sample, go online, see if you can get a sample of this fragrance. If anybody is splitting it, see if you can get in on a split. This is certainly worth trying, but I would definitely not recommend a blind buy. So guys, thank you so much for watching. That was my review of Blamage by Nasomatto. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe for future videos and frequent giveaways. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to shoot me a message and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. So again guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Steven with another fragrance review from Redolessence. See you soon.